Hi everybody, and welcome to today's Brown Bag Lunch. I'm Dia Nagaraj, the Albert Ravenholt Curator of Danish American Culture. Our Brown Bag Lunch program is sponsored by Dennis Anderson of Atlanta, Georgia. Today, I'm really excited because I have with me Emily, our communications intern, and she will be talking about the museum's social media presence. So what platforms we use, the difference between them, and how you can connect with us on social media. So without further ado, I will turn it over to her. Thank you so much.
And if you have any questions along the way, just stick up a paw and we'll hear what you have to say. You can also save them till the end of the presentation. So first of all, I'd just like to shortly introduce you to social media. So we call it interactions among people in which they create, share, and/or exchange information and ideas in virtual communities and networks. So that doesn't mean like email. Email is not a social media, it's just another form of communications. But we'll get more into what social media really is. Okay, first up, where is the Museum of Danish America present on social media? We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, Twitter, and Tumblr. And some of you might not know all of them, and that's totally fine. We'll get into what it all is. And I'll try to explain even more like why we need to be on all of these actually, or most of these. And on our website, we feature these platforms in like the bottom of the footer. So if you're on the website and you don't know where to find us on social media, you can just scroll all the way to the bottom and find us there. Okay, so why do we as a museum use social media? First of all, it can be free. The social media platforms we use are free and we only create free content. You can create like sponsored ads that cost money, but we have chosen to, on social media platforms, only to create free content. It can reach new audiences internationally and also nationally, so across the United States and across the world. We mainly focus on the United States and sometimes Denmark. It's another way to reach the members that we do have, both here in the Elkhorn area, but also further away. And as I mentioned before, we use different platforms, and that's because every platform kind of reaches a different age group or a different audience. So if you want to get in touch with people that are a little older, we need to be on Facebook. If you want to reach young people from like 18, 25, 34, we need to be on platforms like Instagram and TikTok. Okay, so first up, a little background info about Facebook. Most of you, I feel, might know what Facebook is. It was founded in 2004, one of the like main first like multinational, international platforms after MySpace and stuff like that. And it's currently the largest social network in the world and definitely in the Western world. Almost 3 billion monthly users and 2 billion daily. So that's a lot of people. And we joined Facebook in December of 2008. So I guess you could kind of call Facebook our main platform. It's where we do most of our social media activities. We share our events, Spark, 40th anniversary, Brown Bag Lunches, Samkats Aften. We share news, like about the swan we have out here, about new hires, about special objects that we might have in the collections. We share content from other platforms, like we share some of the intern blogs, and we also share videos that we post on YouTube. And then we post other different videos. And content like Wacky Wednesday, Flashback Friday, and Meet the Staff videos. We have 12,000 followers, which makes Facebook definitely our biggest social media platform. It's mainly women. That's a trend that's actually goes through most of our social medias, that we actually mostly connect to women. And the main age group is actually 55 plus. So if we want to reach younger audiences, we need to be other places too. And the tone is kind of straight-laced and professional. You try to be really informative. So if you want more fun content, besides for like Wacky Wednesdays, and Flashback Fridays, you need to be on the other platforms too. And actually, something I think is actually kind of interesting is that Copenhagen leads the most of our followers are from Copenhagen. It's only 3%, but it's still kind of interesting that they draw such a large group. Okay, so here's a little bit of an insight into how much we post. This is from December, and we posted much more than we normally would back then, actually. It's the former intern Anders had his Nisse calendar, advent calendar, and it was a really good month for us because we reached 31,000 people, and 11,000 of them either liked or commented, so that's really good. Yeah. And yeah, I think I explained this. Yeah, posting regularly is really good because it keeps like people, we're on the top of people's attention. We also have two groups. One of them is the Museum of Danish America intern alumni group, where other former interns can keep in touch and talk, receive news about the museum. And we also have the genealogy group, where people meet and they talk about genealogy, and we are kind of like an admin of that group. So if they have questions, we can ask that, we can answer that, or other people can reach out with like their perspectives about genealogy. This is one of our sample posts. We kind of try to use Facebook to update people. It's a little small, but I can read what's there. Wondering what we've been up to for the past few weeks. We've welcomed 101 third graders from that school with all of the letters and 2 lunches. I don't remember where they're all from. Held an evening of song at the Luther Memorial Church in Des Moines, given a presentation at the Shelby County Historical Museum in Harlan, and a special bird landed on the museum grounds. And we try to use pictures a lot because it engages people a lot more. People love seeing pictures of what we're doing, both at events but also in the daily life here at the museum. And a tool that we use for this is called MoDA Business Suite. MoDA is the company that owns Facebook and also Instagram. And for businesses and organizations such as us, they have this free tool that allows us to manage Facebook and Instagram from the same website. So we can schedule posts, like we can schedule a post from Saturday, so we don't have to work on Saturday if we want to put anything up on our platforms. And we can view analytics, so we can see how many people have viewed this post, how many liked, where are they from, what's the age group. So that really helps us in creating content, so that we can really like dig into it, see, oh, do we want more of this? Then we need to do this, or do we want do we want a younger audience? We might need to find something else to post instead of only posting about genealogy. I don't know, it's just an example. Okay, another platform is Instagram, and we joined back in 2013. It's a photo and video sharing social media service, and it's also owned by MoDA, as I mentioned before. So while text mostly takes up the content on Facebook, Instagram is focused on visuals, so pictures, videos, and it's the 4th biggest social media network globally, which is also why we are there. We have 2,100 followers on there, which is also really nice. Again, mostly the same, like 67% women, 33% men. And as we can see here, the age group is a little younger. It's about like 35 to 54. Yeah, and we have 58% in the United States, 22% in Denmark, and then I think we have like some in Singapore, the United Kingdom, Spain, Portugal. This is other countries that I've seen on there. So what we share on Instagram is images of MoDA life. It's images from events, it's upcoming, former events. We repost the intern blog there with more pictures. We repost some of our TikToks on there if we deem them appropriate for Instagram. And then we also make Instagram stories and highlights, which disappears after 24 hours. So some content on there is there forever, while other things disappear after 24 hours. I posted about this event yesterday, and then it disappears today, so it's not relevant anymore, so people won't see it, and that's fine. And the tone on Instagram is like more curated. We try to make it look really pretty, while also still being like really relevant. So we select the pictures a little bit more than we would on Facebook. As you can see, we have 6.7% from Copenhagen, Omaha, Des Moines, New York represented, and Minneapolis. We try to post about 12 times per month, every other day, or more or less, because we don't want to like spam. We don't want to post all the time on Instagram. We do want the pictures to stay there for a while and like have the focus of our followers. And we also posted quite a bit back in December, and we got 12 new followers, which is really nice. And this is, first we have a single post on what a post on Instagram looks like. You might have seen that before. And over here you can see kind of our feed. So when you go on Instagram, this is what it looks like when you see all of our pictures. Good. Another platform is YouTube. This is a video platform, and it's like for longer videos. It's the second most visited website in the world after Google. So that's why we try to be on there. We try to create content on there. It has a lot of monthly users as well. We call it long form content. We have our new Nordic cuisine videos on there from that exhibit, traveling exhibit. We post these brown bag lunches on there. We have the book club. We create food videos. We've made like fastelavnsboller, varme videre, a lot of fun stuff on there, like tutorials. So if you want to try making some Danish food, you can go on there. There's both a written recipe and a video of me making it and other people. Terry makes remoulade. Yeah, you're down there, sorry Terry. And we also show content from our exhibitions and items from our collection on there. So it gives us a chance to be more educational, more informative, take time to present an item or a course, a dish. On other platforms, it's much more fast-paced. On YouTube, you have the time to like slow down, really explain, and people love like really good explanation videos. So we try to use that as well. And it actually has quite a fun like age group. It's both like a really young audience from like 25 to 34, and then also 65 plus. So I think that's really interesting that that's our main audience on there. And it's also 30% United States, 14% Denmark, and I also think that's where we have like the UK, Spain, Canada is on there, I think. And overall we have 114,000 views on our main channel, which is pretty good.
I'm baffled by the USA and Denmark, which combined are not even half of our followers. I mean, granted, that's not a huge number, 579, but do we actually have information on the locations and the nations of our followers?
Yes.
Or is there hidden data that...
I think we can see the top 5, but it's skipped from like USA 30%, Denmark 14%, and then it goes down to like 2%. So all of these other, like a few people in a lot of different countries.
Okay.
So that is really interesting.
It's very curious.
Yeah. And in December we had 1,000 views on our main channel and a watch time of 70 hours. That means that altogether these 1,000 views have watched our videos for 70 hours, which is really good. And on our new Nordic cuisine channel we had 7,000 views and 245 hours of watch time. And these videos are kind of short. They're like 3 minutes to like 7 minutes. So 245 hours of watch time is really good. And this is a sample post from our YouTube channel, one of our cooking videos from the intern kitchen. And as you can see, oh, maybe you can see, it's really small, but we have also like the written directions down here, because we try to be as like accommodating as possible and make it as easy for people as possible to create these videos. And like with MoDA Business Suite, there's also something called YouTube Studio, where we create all of these videos. We edit them first in either Adobe Premiere Pro or Adobe Rush, and then we can add captions, find the analytics, and check comments and schedule content again from YouTube Studio. And adding captions is something we've really dived into the last few months. We want to make it possible for everyone to watch our videos. So sometimes some of the speakers on the videos have a bit of an accent that might be a little bit hard to understand. And also, if you're hearing impaired, it's really nice to be able to have captions.
Is YouTube copyrighted?
In what way?
So can people go on and steal your content, or is it?
They can, but they're not allowed to.
Okay, so there's a setting you set, or I didn't know how that worked, like on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because it's so very public.
Yeah, you can share it like to your Facebook page. If you see a video, you think, oh, this is really fun, I'd like to share this with my friends. You can absolutely share it, but you can't like say that you made this video, or like download the video and then put it up on your own channel. You have to like share this specific video. Does that make sense? Did it answer your question?
Yeah, I think so. I just wondered if it had like, you know, a copyright sort of thing to it where people can't go on and steal what you produced. You know?
Yeah. If they really want to steal it, they can, but they're not allowed to.
Okay.
There are ways.
Yeah.
And there's actually been a lot of talk about that specifically on YouTube. People stealing content and then re-uploading it. It's not allowed, and YouTube will close down their channel if they do. Okay, this is a fun one and a new one for us. TikTok is really short form videos, and I'm talking really short. It used to be only like 7 seconds. Now you can post up to 10 minutes actually. It was created in 2016 and already has 1 billion active users each month. And these watch 1 million videos a day. 150 million Americans use TikTok, and it doubled its worldwide user base between 2019 and 2021, which makes it a really interesting platform. We call it the Wild West. Because it is. We started using it in January of this year, and we're using it to reach a younger audience of 25 to 34. We don't necessarily want to go younger than that, like 15 to 18, 15 to 24. Might be a little too young, because we also try to drag people like into the museum, and sometimes 18-year-olds doesn't want to go to museums. So we feel like it might be a little easier to reach the 25 to 34-year-olds. It's a way of showing the museum off to new people, because our content gets shown to people who don't necessarily know us, but might be interested in museums. And this is what they call the For You page. So, and this is where you might have heard words such as the algorithm. So if I watch a lot of videos about plants and raccoons and museums, I will get shown even more videos about raccoons and plants and museums. So it's a great way to reach new people who are already interested in what we do. It could also be genealogy. There are a lot of genealogy interested people all across America. It's really unpredictable, and it's really hard to plan what you're going to post on TikTok. First of all, it's highly trend-based, which means that one week it may be really popular to make videos inspired by Wes Anderson movies, which happened a few weeks ago. And 2 weeks after, no one wants to watch those videos anymore. They instead want to watch John Cena dancing like this, which is the trend right now. So it means if you want to post on TikTok, you have to like create something really quickly and then just post it. We use trending audios and trending hashtags. So if a song is really popular, we might use that song in one of our own videos. And we use like a helpful template creator that's called CapCut to recreate these trends in a way that fits the museum. The tone is Gen Z, which doesn't say much. And also humor, sarcasm, irony takes up a lot of place. But people are also, just in the museum world, really interested in stories about museums, museum objects. The Sacramento History Museum has a really popular channel with 2 million people who watch their letterpress all day long. They post every day about letterpresses, which is really exciting and fun. We have 142 followers. We just got 2 more today. And we mainly hit women in that 25 to 34 age group. And it's mainly the United States, but also Denmark. So since January, we've had 15,000 views in the last, actually since March, I think. Yes. Since March, we've had 15,000 views. 870 people have been onto our profile to see, oh, who is the Museum of Danish America? And from our profile link to YouTube, and we link to Instagram, and hopefully dragging people over there. And when we get 1,000 followers, I think we can link to our website, which would be really nice. 1,600 likes, 59 comments, and 125 people have shared our videos with friends and family. And here's an example of one of the videos. So that went really fast, right? It has to. We made this video both because that sound was really trending in like this type of video, and also it was kind of a way to celebrate the 40th anniversary, like tell the story about the Museum of Danish America. We could not make it longer because people would just scroll. It has to be like so fast, and then on to the next one. We also have another one, which makes even less sense. Yeah, Amelia made that one, it's really good. So these are just 2 examples. We have another really popular video right now of the Queen of Denmark. People really like that. We show some really iconic pictures of her. The cigarette and the juice box one, and her creating little hats. People love her. People love that video. Another platform that we use is Twitter. It was Elon Musk. It was created in 2006, and it's also really like, you can only write short content. So it's 140 characters. I think sometimes you can post a little more actually. I think it might be like 230 by now. We post news and articles there. So we, both our own content about the museum, but also news about Danish America. The Department Q Netflix series that's coming up, which is really exciting. Yeah, sharing news about Danish and Danish America is not always directly relevant to the museum. And we also repost relevant content from Tumblr, YouTube, and TikTok. And the tone is witty and wry. We thought it was kind of fun with the wry tone. We have 1,000 followers on there, and we try to post like about 8 times a month. These are 2 posts. Okay. One that is not that well known is Tumblr. It's a microblogging website, also social networking. It's mainly known for fan fiction, art, memes, advice, and more stuff like that. Founded in 2007 and was really popular between 2012 and 2014. We use Tumblr mostly as storage for our interim blogs, but also like sharing a little bit of genealogy once in a while. We have 232 followers on there who don't really interact with our content. It's mostly when we repost these blogs onto Facebook or Instagram that we get the interactions. So it's just to have a nice place to keep these blogs and updates that won't get like lost beneath other news about the museum. And the tone is conversational. And this is an example of what the blogs can look like. So it's also both text and images, and you can write even more text there. Okay, so how to attack social media. First of all, we try to use hashtags. Hashtags. That's what I said, that's why we need captioning. It's like these with the word after.
We used to call it a pound sign.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all know what that means.
Yes.
Good, perfect. The pound signs.
Yeah. Before it was ever called a hashtag.
Nice, okay.
Yeah.
So when you use hashtags, we sometimes use Western Iowa on our Instagram posts, because then people who are interested in Western Iowa, maybe they're visiting, maybe they're traveling, they'll see that, oh, there's a museum in Western Iowa. We might go there. We'll also use Danish America, all sorts of stuff like that. Museum that might be interesting to people, and it's another way for them to find us if they don't know us in the first place. Consider your audience and consistency on each platform. So if we're on TikTok, for example, we need to keep on creating content that's interesting for the audience that we have on TikTok, unless we want another audience on TikTok. So that means that we maybe keep going in this like kind of like funny video style on there. And that we on Instagram keep posting these really nice pictures of the museums and our events. Be respectful makes a lot of sense, and engage with the audience. So if someone comments on a video about a Royal Copenhagen duck, which we did a few weeks ago on Facebook, and are like, oh, this is a really nice duck, we'll write back, yes, we think so too. Or if we have an event that we're advertising, and people ask, oh, what time is this? Even though it says it right there, we still want to go down and write, oh, it's from 5 to 7. And people are going to be like, oh, nice, thanks for answering. So keep going in that with that like friendly tone and be really helpful. We also need to consider ourselves as a sender. So MoDA represents Danish American culture, but we also represent the museum world. So we need to kind of like follow museum ethics when posting on social media. Be respectful of the art or the items that we present, and be informative about Danish American culture. We made a video about Danish food that's also eaten here in Danish America, and someone commented, oh, that looks really nice. I don't eat æbleskivere and medister. Or æbleskivere and frikadelle. Like, yes, that's right. It might be like 2 Danish courses in itself, but in Danish America, this is a course. So try to like explain to people in a nice way that there are actually differences between Danish and Danish America. Another subject that we've really tried to dive more into is accessibility. As I mentioned before, we use captions on YouTube. If we post a video on TikTok with us speaking, we also add captions on there, so everyone can enjoy our content. We use what's called alt text or alternative text on all of our pictures. So that means if you're visually impaired and you're consuming content from Facebook and you have a screen reader which reads everything aloud to you, then it'll describe the picture because you obviously can't see it. So if we're posting a picture of the swan out there, we'll write white swan made of buckets or something like that. So we're trying to be really descriptive. If we have a picture that has text on it, we'll write out that text, so we make sure that everyone can see this. Another tool of accessibility is using high contrast images and text. So if we have a picture, a blue picture, we won't use another shade of blue as the text on there because that might be really hard to see if you're visually impaired. Then we might use white or black or something that's easy to see. And then we're also cross-posting similar content on different platforms, if appropriate. So if we're sharing news on Instagram and we feel like that might be relevant to our audience on Facebook, we'll post it on there too, because people who are on Facebook might not necessarily be on Instagram. So that's another way of being accessible about our content. We also have challenges, obviously. One of them is reaching younger audiences. We feel like we have a lot of really good, fun things to share, both like educational, entertaining, and while it gets out to especially a little bit of an older audience on Facebook, we also want to get this information to a bit of a younger audience. So that's a challenge that we're working on, which is also why we're posting on platforms such as TikTok, where we meet this younger audience. Attracting new followers, especially on Facebook, and getting them to actually like our page so they keep seeing our content. Some of the platforms that we use have very little growth. Twitter, Tumblr, do we want to keep on using these? And then translating engagement on social media into actual memberships and museum visits. How do we take people to like our videos and share it with their friends on TikTok to actually get them to come here or become a member? So how do we make these social media decisions? Like I said before, trying to recognize the target audience in each platform. As I also said, most of our Facebook followers will not appreciate or understand the things that we post on TikTok, and that's completely fair. That's why we kind of post on everything. And like another example is too many posts on Instagram might seem spammy, like too much, so we only try to post like a few times a week. So these are examples of how we make these decisions. So are there any questions? I know it's a lot of information, but it's really interesting when you like dive into it.